Well, this is my charging station. Okay, and what I've got here is I have different adapters and plugs in there. And because I am using the Triton charger, and this is where all the various plugs and adapters for all the different kinds of batteries that I have, I can plug in any kind of battery. This Triton, actually by Great Plains, is a good charger, and it also charges LiPo batteries. But this is all pretty heavy, and I have to have a battery charger connected to it all the time in order for it to keep this 12-volt battery up. And I don't have to tell you how heavy this whole setup is. And I just simply plug it into the wall, and I have various places here I can plug in. So when I've got to go somewhere, that's what I take. But believe me, this is a little bit much, so we're going to try something different today. It's best to find a power supply that has an on-off switch on the back, right here. This is a standard power supply out of your computer. Next, we want to check the 12-volt supply, and the yellow wires is always the positive 12 volts and the black is negative. So I'm going to use my meter here. Okay, fan is running, and there we have a good 12.10 volts. And I'm going ahead and turn on my Triton, and I have it set for a lithium ion charge and 2.1 amps, 11.1 volts. I'm going to charge this battery right there with it to see how it goes, so we'll go ahead and start it. Alright, input voltage is 12.44 and it is charging just fine. Okay, I'm going to use this 250 watt power supply. They're pretty cheap actually, and let's test it out first of all. Because it's not hooked to the computer, we need to turn the switch to turn it on. So if you look on the back of all these things, they'll tell you what each wire does. And it says black is common and green stands for power supply on. So that's what we're going to look for now. On the main plug here, we look for the green wire and the black wire. And there they are, and I'm going to put a little jumper on there right now to test that out to make sure that that actually will turn on the power supply. Let's try it. Just simply put the jumper into the black side and the green side. The black is on the bottom. And there we go. You can hear it running. And there we have a good 12.10 volts. So we need to make a switch for the green and black wire. There we go. Now I will hook that to a switch. Alright, let's see what kind of switches we have here. Too big. There we go. There we go. Single pole, double throw. We're going to mount this right inside the lid of the power supply so I can turn it on and off. Okay, I'm just going to pull these wires through here that I cut off, the black and the green one. I'm going to hook it up to the switch right here. Okay, first I'm going to take the strippers. These are number 22, a small 1/8 inch piece off of each wire, the green and black one. There we go. Next, put on a piece of shrink tubing over the wire first. Next, we're going to solder that wire on. First, I'm going to tin it a little bit with the soldering iron. And the switch. There's 3 notches on the switch. You always want to do one in the center and one on the end. It's best to do the one in the center first. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some solder on there and some solder on the top one, and we're going to go ahead and solder this wire right onto the center. This just like this. Okay, make sure it's mechanically strong. Bring this piece of shrink tubing around there. Same thing, tin the green wire. Put your shrink tubing on. Reach down here and I'm going to solder it on the top. Good solid connection. Drop your shrink tubing down. Slide it over it. I've got a heat gun. I'm going to take this heat gun and I'm going to heat that shrink tubing up. So we have a nice tight fit around those terminals. There we go. Good. Okay. There you go. Okay, I'm just going to cut the wires off now. I only need the black wire and the yellow wire for 12 volts, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this red wire out of the loom so I can't get to it. Now, got a good ground. I can actually twist these two together and have my ground, so this is my plus and minus 12 volts that is going to go to the charger. Okay, here's how it should look. Got the 12 volts right here. Plus 12 is the yellow, minus 12 is the black. And the switch, let's go ahead and turn it on and make sure it works. Very good. Okay, on, off. Alright, all we got to do now is just put the lid on and we're done. Okay, I've got a lot of different kinds of chargers and adapters, so on my 12 volts I've got different kinds of plugs. This is a Dean plug, and then there's standard Tamiya, and here I've got a scissor switch that I can hook my charger, my connectors to, and hook it up to my charger. So all I have to do is actually just throw this switch and bingo, there goes my charger. So if you don't have a 12 volt computer supply anywhere that puts out at least 1.5 amps, you can always use something like this. And this is another thing. This is a AC adapters that put out regulated power voltage. That's what you want, regulated power voltage. This output is 12 volt 1.7 amp. And just to show you how that works, I have this hooked up to my charger. Here's the switch. I throw the switch down, charger starts. So that's another good unit. I want to charge the battery. Go ahead and press this button, hold it down, does the battery check. And there you have it, we're beginning to charge. So okay, if you have a charger that requires 12 volts input, like the Sea Sky also, for the Honeybee, there's the battery. Your alternative is easily fixed with this 12 volt computer power supply. Let's go ahead and turn it on. And the fan is running. And let's go ahead and throw the scissor switch and you'll see the power come on. And we're good to go. Get a nice regulated 12 volts into the charger and we'll get a good charge on this battery.